Welcome, friends, and welcome to a new type of video from me. So this is going to be a tier list that we actually recorded live on stream. So going forward, at the start of each stream, we're going to go through a topic. The topic that we're going to cover next is going to be commander traits and combinations that you can do. Last week, we did tier lists of all the commander traits and what I thought. Now, I'm not going to be posting any of my VODs. I post them. However, they're hidden. If you go to the channel, there's a public playlist, but I don't publicize them, so they're not showing up in your subscriber feed or anything like that. Only when I'm live will it show up in your subscriber feed. I want to find ways to create valuable content from the stream and that I can create and bring to the YouTube channel, and this is the start of it. So I hope that you enjoy. If you think that I'm wrong on anything, remember it is my opinion, and feel free to tell me why my opinion is wrong down in the comments below. Or you can tell me that I'm right on everything, because of course I'm right on everything. And while you're down there telling me why my opinion is wrong, don't forget to hit that like button. All right, let's jump into the video. Aggressive Attacker. Aggressive Attacker used to be in my meta build. So that's something that I used to absolutely love. I would target it all the time. But that's because I undervalued another trait. As I've played more and more in the game, I think I reduced the value in it. It's definitely something that's nice to have on a commander, but not something that I target. Yeah, so the Aggressive Attacker, I definitely would put it in the B tier. But I feel like wiping out an army is nice. The problem that I have is I ignore pursuit. That is like shame on me for doing it.
Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you.
Bring it up here. It's plus 25% enemy fatal casualties, right? So if you have a high pursuit, this would be really nice to have. The next one is going to be Cautious Leader. I'm going to do Cautious Leader and Reckless at the same time. By the way, what's up with the Reckless icon? Seriously, why is this Reckless? Why is this thing Reckless? How is 2 feet Reckless? I don't understand this. This is weird. So these two, they provide you maximum plus 4 to your maximum battle roll or minus 2 to your maximum battle roll. And then the Reckless is plus 6 and minus 4. So basically, Cautious Leader gives you plus 8% damage or minus 4% damage. That's kind of risky. I don't like it. And then Reckless is just amplifying that, right? It's 12% and 8%. Yeah, 12% and 8%. I put them on my D tier. Reckless and Cautious Leader, I don't like the gambling aspect to the traits. Organizer, having a solid organizer as a commander is critical to your realm. Chasing down armies can really wreak havoc with your supply. It can wreak havoc. It can mean that you don't take the war targets faster. It means that they can cause attrition on your army. It just overall it's really bad. So having a solid organizer that you can chase them down, attack them is a good thing. If it's a solid organizer, then you don't need to switch them out with like, I don't know if anybody else does this, but sometimes I'll pause it with 1 day left in their movement, and then I'll swap out the commander and transport into commander, right? Do good old Star Trek beaming on the commander and beam out of the organizer.
Transporter activated.
Because of that, I personally would put the organizers in the A tier. Next up, we're in the train ones. So we have the Winter Soldier, I believe it is. Yeah, Winter Soldiers, Jungle Stalker, Desert Warrior, Rough Terrain. Yeah, Rough Terrain Expert. And then this one is, I always forget this one, Open Terrain Expert. Why I can remember Rough Terrain and not Open Terrain? Or no, this is Rough Terrain.
Oh my god, you had one job. You had one very simple job.
Which one's this one then? This one is, oh, I don't have it on my list. Forest Fighter. This makes more sense as Rough Terrain than this one. Forest Fighter. Okay, so Winter Soldiers and Jungle Stalkers are really solid traits because they add extras. So the Desert Warrior gives you no desert supply limit penalty, which is really nice. And the Jungle Stalker Jungle Stalker does the no supply limit penalty and minus 50% attrition. So that's really nice. Because they're all pretty much giving you advantage in terrain. Where is the Winter Warrior? It's right here. The Winter Warrior gives you plus 25% movement speed. Could you imagine an Organizer and a Winter Soldier in one? You just like zoom across the battlefield. Now for the Winter Soldiers and the Jungle Stalkers, I definitely put them in my B tier. For the Desert Warrior, the Forest Fighter, the Open Terrain Expert, and the Rough Terrain Expert, yeah, C tier. Desert Warrior, I could see you moving into your B tier. But for me, all four of these definitely go down into the C tier. They're nice to have. Is it Forder up next? Right. Forder. So I went back and forth on this one. Forder is interesting. I would personally say, why? Why does this exist? Get good.
I'm so sick of being bad at this.
Well, cheer up, son bro. That's an easy fix. Just get good.
Right? That's basically what I like. You need to learn how to command your armies if you're using Forder. But is it an F tier? No, because I don't really think that it's not something that I avoid. And if I want to be lazy, it's not that bad. I feel like you can do a good job of planning dealing with rivers and straits, right? So that's why I say get good, right? Definitely D for me. All right, Holy Warrior is a fun one. It's kind of similar to the Terrain Experts, I would say. The difference on Holy Warrior is it's a faith hostility, right? And the bonus is plus 10. That plus 10 is sick. That's 20% damage to your, plus 20% damage to your army. That is sick. If you're doing a lot of Holy Wars, this is one you definitely want to target, in my opinion. I put this in the A tier. For personally, I could see arguments for B tier though, but for me, A. Next up, we are going to do Reaver, and Reaver is interesting. During the actual stream, I messed this up, so this is the first time I'm going into this to correct a mistake that I made during the stream. And the way I understand it was that it was plus 100% rage speed and minus 75% hostile county attrition during raids. However, it doesn't say that. There is definitely value in this trait in Reaver with the minus 75% county attrition. You pair that up with something like your Organizers, and you can quite quickly cause some issues for your opponent's army, because you can just go around and you can siege. Military Engineer and Organizer are two that you'd put in here. Potentially Winter Soldier would be a good combination here as well. But you can use all of this to really cause havoc and stay ahead of your enemies and not actually ever fight them. So I would definitely put this in my B tier, potentially even my A tier, now that I don't insert those words that weren't there on the trait. Logistician. So this is not one that I target. Logistician gives you plus 100% supply duration, so it's pretty good. This is nice to have, situational. If you're in, say, a low development and you don't have a lot of supplies, this is nice to have, or you're attacking somewhere. So say you're attacking from Europe to Africa, right? That can be a supply nightmare. So this is something that's nice to have, but it's not something that I really like. So I definitely go after I would definitely put this in my C tier. Military Engineer. Does anybody call this a siege engineer all the time, by the way? That's why I always call it siege engineer. I never call it military engineer. Oh, you can do that. Oh, I should have been doing this all the time. Oh, now it's not going to work. And I like using military engineers when we go siege, so transporting them in. This would be a B tier for me. However, it's actually not as good as what you think. So it says here, minus 30% siege phase time. I've noticed that if you don't have siege equipment or you have early siege equipment, it doesn't work properly. So because of that, it's something, it's nice to have one of these around that I could keep with my siege equipment, enough levies to get over the garrison, and then have a bigger army that protects it. So because of that, it dropped down from my B tier into my C tier. If it worked properly in early times for sieges, I would definitely put it in the B. Unyielding Defender, I always forget what this is. Does that give you any idea of what ranking that I'm going to give this? So what the Unyielding Defender, minus 25% friendly casualties. So it's the opposite of aggressive attacker. But why? Seriously. Why? I'm going in to win. I'm not going in to lose. So the only time that I would put this in is if I'm trying to retreat and I know I can't retreat. That's the only time I've ever used this, right? I'm trying to run away and I'm trying to get away from them. Then I'll swap this in quickly so I don't lose as many troops. Because of that, F tier. Just why? It just seems very pessimistic of a trait to me. And I've left one slot open here. I've left one slot open. It's not even close. I was tempted to make this an SS tier. Flexible leader is 100% the best trait, in my opinion, in the game. That is because minus 50% enemy defensive advantage. This is from fortifications, terrain, rivers, straits. The AI is always retreating to the mountains. The AI is always retreating to baronies, right? Cutting that in half massively impacts your opponent's damage. 100% for me is flexible leader for the SS. Those are all of my 100% correct, not at all incorrect opinions on the tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely had a lot of fun creating it, and as we do more of them, I'm sure that we'll have even more fun and great topics. Normally, if you'd like to join as we stream this and get your opinion not only in the comments, but live on stream, definitely join us. I stream every Sunday at 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. I believe that's 10:30 Eastern Time. But with that, I will wish everybody a good morning, good day, or good night, wherever you are.